Welcome to the NAISNY Bake Off. We've got your hosts, Catherine Berry Clare,
Hello, darling.
Jason Hollywood Reardon. So this week, do you want to explain what we did this week on the Bake Off, what the challenge was?
So this week on the Bake Off was a very technical challenge. Not only did we have to get the perfect cheese straw, which had the nice crumbly, cheesy texture, but it also had to be engineered to be built as a structure. Terribly challenging.
Yes, it was, and it really tested our bakers this week to really think of creatively how they're going to use that cheese straw to recreate some kind of famous landmark. And we saw many different methods. It was very pleasing, and I think we got some great results.
This is Joe Marek. It's Simon and Joe's entry. I spoke with Simon in year 5 about it, and Joe is his younger brother in year 2.
I love it. I love the simplicity. I love the...
I like the symmetry of it. It's very neat, very delicate. I also like the crispy look to these cheese straws. They look like they would be crispy in your mouth, perfectly crisp.
Do you know what? Absolutely. They've got quite a nice uniform kind of colour to them, haven't they? This one's supposed to be the Empire State Building. Now, I'm not quite sure what's at the top of that, but I do love these straight lines they've got here. So that is to be commended, I think. So well done, Joe, for that one. Beltrans. Now.
Oh, I like the background. These look like they are barbecue cheese straws.
This is my issue with this. I think he's maybe used those background props to try and take your eye away from maybe leaving these cheese straws in a bit too long.
Beautiful backdrop, and they look like they're dipped in sauce. And maybe a little.
They do. I think they're just burnt. The setup is fantastic, but unfortunately, I think what's let him down is the actual bake itself, which is obviously the most important thing.
The presentation, but a bit crispy around the edges.
Yeah, master builder here, Blake in year 2. I was so impressed when I saw these pictures. So we've got here the Great Wall of China. You can see we've got the pyramids here.
Beautiful.
I just like the way that he's really used the same cheese straws, and just a simple cheese straw, a flat kind of rectangular shape, and created so many different. So that was the Guggenheim Museum.
Yeah, it's gone to town with the engineering side of this, hasn't he?
And just been so creative. The vessel,
Oh, very creative.
And then lastly, we've got the Arc de Triomphe. I can't talk.
Arc de Triomphe.
But in terms of like consistency, they've all got pretty much the same kind of height. They've got a lovely colour to them as well.
Lovely. Yeah, edible size, because you want a cheese straw to be a perfect small snack. You don't want it to be too heavy.
Exactly. Well done, Blake there.
Very, very good building. Lovely colour.
So let's move on to Devon. Now, I've got to give you a bit of background to this. I actually know that Devon has... So she wanted to do this Bake Off. She's really keen because she actually used prior knowledge from like last year, I think it was. And I think it may have been Miss Brown's class that she did it with, where they actually had to build... I think it may have been the Freedom Tower, and she remembered some kind of shape geometry trick that he used in like a math lesson or something like that. And she was like really keen apparently to use that prior knowledge for this challenge. So I thought,
that's very commendable. I love it when they use their prior knowledge. It's very useful.
And we've got this. For some reason, I just love this one. This is the flat iron.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, you can see it's the same shape, isn't it? The nice bend at the front. You can see a lovely golden colour to these cheese straws or cheese triangles.
You can also see that they've actually got what looks like Parmesan in between the layers. So I think they've maybe used Parmesan as like a glue to help. So
Very
cheese for that. So again, the engineering skill there. And then this is the one I think is the Transamerica Tower. But again, beautiful. Like, look at that even colour. It looks crispy. It looks like what you want from cheese straw.
And it's very hard to get them to stand up like that. So very good engineering as well.
I think it might be that Parmesan glue that they're using. Next one. Now this one is Miss Bracacci's entry here, year 25.
I do like the name of this one.
Yeah, that is a very cheeser. I have to say, like, It's stunning.
Beautiful. I love the background.
And I'm not saying that just because she's right next to me, but like the design and the detail. Now I know firsthand this took a lot of time, and again, you've got a nice even look kind of to it. Now, when I first saw this, I was kind of worried. When I saw her making this, I was like, I commented saying, look, I don't know how well these details are going to stay on, but you know what? Credit to her. She just went ahead, did it, and it's still standing, and it's.
You baked it like that?
Yeah, it was baked like that. So
how tall is it?
Know that
in real life?
It's tall. I mean, I would guess it out right now, but I've eaten some of it. Now, I think this is Miss Moffat's. It's fun. It does look very simple, but it works.
Very simple but effective. It's kind of light in colour. I'd like to see it's a bit more golden, but it's a beautiful texture. It's a beautiful build, and it's a very well thought out presentation.
But do you know what? I agree. Maybe 1 or 2 more minutes in the oven, get a bit of that cheese bubbling. Make it a bit more crispy. Not obviously to this extent that Beltran kept his in the oven, but some kind of compromise with it. But I love the detail. I love the shape. I love the kind of setting. It's very good, and I think they've done. Yes, she's done another one here. I don't know if this is the same one, a different kind of side, but again, I just think maybe it's on the underside of cooking.
Yeah,
but it looks beautiful, and we've got Mr. Moffat here, IT support, just showing off with the fireworks.
That's intriguing. How they got it to stay up. It is intriguing.
I like.
Again, I feel it's a little undercooked, but it is a very intriguing design and a beautiful presentation. But
I like as well. I feel like this one probably even spins as well. So
yeah,
I'm
intrigued to how it's staying up.
So I know that he's a physics student. I'm sure there's some engineering going on here. I'm very impressed with that. Absolutely, some bonus marks there. And the presentation again is looking great. So well done to the Moffats there. I've got this one here with a picture, I think.
Yeah.
Some people is this Miss Moffat and Mr. Moffat jumping up in the background? Did Mr. Moffat have long hair at one time?
I think it might be Miss Moffat, but I'm not sure who. A very good jump, whoever it is.
Let's go for yours, because I mean this is one of my favourites, to be honest. I've got some others. There's obviously some good ones, and I do like this one a lot. I like the fact that the Nessie disappears into the desk. I love the artistry, in the background. You haven't just got a picture off the internet. You've created that on the whiteboard. And the colour, you've got that crispy, you've got that orange from the cheese.
I can also verify that it tasted delicious. I've eaten little other than cheese straw.
I would be very happy to eat that if we could, and if it wasn't just virtual. And I'm sure you had great pleasure in eating this.
Sorry, I am doing that for everyone.
And then we've also got Stonehenge here, where you've changed the scenery, you've changed the background. Again, you can see there, nice even bake, nice colours with your cheese.
Notice that it's raining in both pictures, being in Scotland and England.
Okay, that's a fantastic detail. So just those little fine details, is what I think has made you one of the standout competitors.
Thank you. I mean, as Mary Catherine Claire Berry, I would be expected to be showing good baking skills.
I do worry about this next one. I worry if I ate this one, I'd probably have some issues the next day. It's very raw. I do
quite raw about this, and he took the photo before he baked it. As after he baked it, it didn't quite keep its shape. Fantastic detail in the Sphinx face, but I think, as we all know, when we bake cheese straws, they don't stay in the same shape. They kind of bubble up and change. Maybe not well cooked through either, because I think they look quite solid, and I think that would. Yeah. My Stonehenge took a lot longer to bake.
Has he been in lessons this week, or has he been ill?
He's actually off sick today, but I'm not sure.
It would be nice to see a picture afterwards, because right now, as it's presented to us, I just can't.
I agree. I think we would like to have seen a baked cheese structure. And as much as I love the artisticness of this sculpture, I don't think it can be part of the competition as it's raw.
I think this is Sophia, but
I really like the way this has been structured. I love how crispy it looks. I also like that she's posted with a purple background to make her entry really stand out.
again, like you can see, even the way this photo's been taken with the is it vignette?
Yeah.
The edges, yeah, where it's kind of black. You know, clearly there's some pride in her. Clearly this is the empire. This is the state tower. You know, got that importance feel to it.
My only criticism is the colour is not even throughout, suggesting that they were maybe not cooked in the same way. I feel that they could be a bit more even.
Apart from that, I do love the kind of the look that this has got, the feel to it. Again, that's some cheese straws that I'd like to have a taste and see what.
They look tasty.
Right, this is my stuff. This is the first one I did a few weeks ago, which is the Brooklyn Bridge. This was an example that I gave to people, and it was good, but it was cooked, but I used a different kind of slightly different recipe. And then this is my Empire State. Now, I'd managed to
an improved version, I feel.
Yeah, I'd used different cheese at this point. I'd used kind of baked it a bit differently, tried to figure out structure. Now the issue is, it just didn't really. It pretty much collapsed about 1 second after I took this photo.
I do like the design in the background. I feel that you have really thought that design through. The cheese straws have a lovely bubble to them. I quite like the bubble to them.
Not my greatest bake, not my worst bake. I'm okay with it. I'm happy with that. It tasted good. That's all I care about, really. And then lastly, we've got Bennett's Stonehenge. Now, I have to say, I love the pipe. He's clearly used piping here. You know, he's added that extra technique.
They're lovely.
What I do worry about, though, if you look at that one on the left-hand side, you can see there that's raw.
Yeah. Is this another raw one, or it's very, very pale? Was this cooked?
It looks like it's been cooked, but it doesn't look like it's been cooked long enough, is my kind of worry. Now, I love the design. I love the Stonehenge kind of look about it. It's kind of got that roughness of the stones.
I love the building. I love the creativity, but I would worry that it wasn't quite cooked properly. It needs that golden sheen and crispiness to it that we look for in a good cheese straw.
Okay, so this leads us on then. Who are your top contenders in the children's?
I do very much like Sophia, and I think Blake definitely should be in there. At least one of those structures should be in there. And I love the Frida. Is it the Flatiron Building by Devon? I think those are 3 favourites.
Yeah. So again, I'm very impressed with everyone's. And again, the amount of effort Blake's gone into to design all those different buildings. I'm sure there's probably some more photos that I've missed out and just forgotten to include. He looks like he's really enjoyed this challenge. But I think for me, the whole combination of the prior learning, the ingenuity of using Parmesan glue, and just the use of the shapes. I think for me, Devon has got is my star baker.
I think that Devon definitely deserves. I think that she's done 3 very good sculptures with prior knowledge, and a lovely, lovely cheese straw as well. Nice golden colour and nice and crispy by the look of it. Well done.
Well done.
I can't judge myself to be the best, can I?
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, people then will judge you for doing that.
It's not fair. I very much like the Leaning Tower of Cheeser. I think it's incredibly built. It's a very great name. It looks like a nice bronze cheese straw. You've attested that it tasted good as well, so I think my vote would go for the Leaning Tower of Cheeser.
Yeah, so for me, what I really like about Strange, obviously with the MIT theme, is that I like the engineering aspects of it. So if I think about engineering things, then that for me really takes it down to yours, Mr. Moffat's with the wheel, and Miss Procacci's. And for me, in knowing, I think the complexity of that tower was quite advanced, and the extra detail. I know how long it took. You know, you can call me biased, and you can say it right next to me. But for me, I think it is my favourite one. It's got a good bake to it. It wasn't overbaked.
Maybe she can be guest judge next week, and I can win.
Yeah, okay. I think you've done really well there. But yeah, excluding yourself, let's take you out of this competition. I think it has to go to Miss Procacci, and I think.
I agree. She's the adult star baker. Well done.
Well done.
It's lovely to see so many entries.
Hey Mom, oh my God, you'll never guess what. I won Star Baker! Star Baker!
That's it then for this week. So thank you for those people who've joined us. Thank you for people who have entered their cheese straw entries into this. Any final comments? Yes. Details for that will be on the MIT Teams page later on.
On Monday again? Are we doing the same day?
Yeah, so I'll announce where it is on Monday. I'll give you hopefully the recipe for whatever bake it is before then, so you can get the ingredients in time. But on Monday, I will release the actual challenge.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Mr. Reardon, Mr. Hollywood, for organising such a lovely community.